Good morning to you. How's it going? How you having a great life? Good morning. It's a great day. Look at this. So great today. So great. I am sitting here waiting for Elena to come for my Spanish lesson. And she's not here yet, obviously. But yeah, I was thinking, Robin is in Mendoza, and when she gets back, she only has like 5 days. I was figuring this out on my boss, Andres, yesterday. I have 2 more weeks, plus this weekend, the middle is 3 more weekends. I finally made it in. Watch this. Doesn't even have to ask anymore. He said so good. You're a good boy. You want a cookie, Jer? Come here. You want your cookie? You want your cookie, big boy? That's a good boy. Can you sit? You sit? Good boy. Good boy. Oh yeah. You want your cookie? You steal all his cookies, you little monster. Hey? All the cookies are Bentley's. Oh, he's a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Oh, don't kiss it. Don't kiss it. Look at your little face. Look at your little face. I love you. You're a good dog. Hola. I went to turn this on and then he's like, uh-oh. Anyway, don't mind them. We're at a frozen yogurt place. We're gonna get frozen yogurt. That's what you do at frozen yogurt places. I haven't had a frozen yogurt in a very, very long time and I'm very excited about it. But we had a big lunch and I'm still full. So this might be interesting. I'm out of battery. Okay, bye. We're at a movie! So excited about Case. Funny thing. There's an advertisement for SpongeBob over there, but they translate it literally, so it's Bob Esponja, because Esponja is a word for sponge. And it's just, I don't even know if that actually gets, like, the way we consider SpongeBob. I don't know if that comes across the translation, but I thought it was funny. We're going to see Mordecai, which until I got here I had never heard of, but apparently it's supposed to be funny. And so I will let you know after. And we may not be able to get popcorn as we have it in North America. Apparently they cover a lot of popcorn here, like sugar, and they offer you sweet popcorn, which none of us like. We are quite sure of that. So hopefully they have salty popcorn, which apparently may or may not be an option. I'm not sure yet. But a movie ticket is $4,400, which 1,000 is $2, so it's like 10 bucks, so that's about normal. And popcorn and 2 pops are 10,000, so pretty much everything is the same price. So yeah, I'll let you know how the movie is afterward. I know you can't see me, but Spanish, Latin American movie theaters get movies in English for adults, and then they put subtitles and stuff on them. So like all the commercials and stuff are in English. It's pretty awesome. For me anyway. It's a new superhero movie. So it means we can watch it and they have to read all the subtitles, which kind of really sucks for them. Just got out of the movie. I thought it was funny. I really liked it actually. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen by any means, and I was somewhat distracted by the Spanish subtitles trying to figure out like how they compared to what was actually being said, but it was funny. I really enjoyed it. And the popcorn, we managed to get salty popcorn. And it was a little bit too salty, a lot too salty, but it stemmed the craving that I have for popcorn, which I haven't had in almost 7 weeks. So that was nice. Have y'all ever seen a yellow mannequin? Kind of caught me off guard. I thought she was wearing yellow pants, and I looked up and her head was yellow. Like, what the heck? Morning. It's Lindsay's birthday tomorrow, so she's not here right now. She went back to her house to grab some stuff because we're going to the beach today. Cause it's super nice out. I'm super stoked. Obviously, I'm not quite ready for that yet, but anyway, yeah, it's her birthday tomorrow, so I am gonna write her a couple of letters because she's here for a long time and she wants to like save room in her luggage for when she's gonna buy everything she wants to take at the end. So I don't want to like get her something that will also, I'm not really sure what I could get her that would be super useful, but if that makes any sense, I don't know. Hopefully it does. But what I am going to do is write her letters, because Robin leaves in like 3 or no, maybe 5 days. I'm not entirely sure what the date is today. But she leaves at the end of the month, which is pretty quick here. And then I leave like a week after that. So I'm going to write her letters so that when she thinks of us, she can read the letters and she's not lonely. So hopefully that'll be a nice gift. Happy birthday. Thought I'd show you how garbage works in Chile. Amy and I have garbage from the house, and strewn along, well, okay, not strewn, organizedly placed along every street, all the house streets, there are these bins. And what happens is we step on this thing, but it usually takes mine and Robin's combined weight, except maybe not today. And then you shove the garbage in there, and somebody else comes and picks it up. And then the bottles normally go in a yellow thing down there, which was full yesterday, but apparently it's been emptied. So, yeah. Anyway, that's how they do it, and they come and pick it up. You don't have like door-to-door garbage pickup like we do. But yeah, this might be interesting. So, look at that.
When you come to Valparaiso, one of the things we advertise about the city, or one of the attractions we have, are the elevators of Valparaiso. Which from a technical point of view is actually not correct, because elevators as such, there's only one in the entire city. The Polanco elevator, which is actually in the complete opposite side of the city. This one's, although it's just a technical difference, they're actually funiculars because they move diagonally and they operate with a pulley system. If one goes up, the other one comes down. It's not a counterweight, but they do operate at the same time, so they're technically funiculars and not elevators. Funiculars, we have 29 of them, of which I'm afraid only 9 are still working. But out of the ones that do work, most of them are public and very cheap, just 100 pesos per person. To give you a rough idea, $1 is roughly about 600 Chilean pesos. So they're actually quite cheap. There's 2 of them, which are, 3 of them actually, which are a little more expensive. The Conception funicular, which is the oldest one in Valparaiso that still operates, and for that reason it needs more maintenance. The Artillery one, which was recently restored, so they need to get the investment back. And the other one, which is private, but the private one, I openly try to avoid it because it belongs to the hospital and it's just for emergency. So if anybody gets to see that one on the inside, it means that tourist is dying, so I try not to include it in the actual tour. I try to keep it out as much as possible. This one is the first one that we are going to take. It's called the Queen Victoria funicular, and it was opened in 1902. According to the local legend, Queen Victoria herself came here for the opening day of this place. Which, if you know a little something about history, you might have realized is not true, because Queen Victoria died in 1901, and this was opened in 1902, so it was a little difficult for her to actually show up. Maybe she came in spirit, but not physically, because she'd been dead for a year, so we can scrap that version of the story. The other thing is that they used the funicular to shot a portion from the film Motorcycle Diaries that described the life of Che Guevara. Not a particularly impressive scene, he was just driving up the hill and they shot it from the top, but it is used for the actual movie, so it makes it more interesting. Now we are going to take the actual funicular. Do not worry about the ticket, they're actually included in the tour. I pay for the whole group. My boss pays me back afterwards, or at least he will this time hopefully, but that's not your concern. We are going to have to split into 2 different groups probably, but other than that there's nothing to worry about. If you do not like the service of the funiculars and have any kind of complaint, just wait, you can complain to the owner. right there in his office. Slacking on the job as usual. There you go. And this is the secretary.
That's great. Okay, I don't know, and you guys, maybe I don't know if you can see it, but there's the track right there. It goes up, and you have to take vernaculars up. You can't take the stairs. It's pretty much impossible. There's the bottom. So you can see the ocean and all the stuff around. The windows are really dirty, but it's pretty cool. Look, it's so far down. Such a steep angle too. We got a bunch of tourists taking this slide. Robin's already done this and she's still freaking out.
I did a bit of that.
Yay! We got art all the way along this wall. And there's that, oh, just about tripped, giant head, and then it keeps going and going and going and going. There's an alien something or other, I'm not sure what that is. So he says that the art is not illegal and anybody is free to paint a wall anywhere as long as they have the building owner's permission, but that because it's not illegal, a lot of people don't value it and as much as they should necessarily, and then they graffiti it. And he said that an artist will never do the same painting twice, so an artist may come to fix up the painting that they originally did, but they'll fix it up in a way it didn't look before, or like change it into something completely different kind of thing, even if it's the same person that painted it originally. So he said that the art is changing around here constantly.
This building right here, this is the Church of St. Paul, and it was the first non-Catholic church ever built in Valparaiso. It was built in 1858. I said it backwards, I said 1885 at the beginning, the other way around. And as you can see, they had to take a lot of countermeasures to be allowed to actually build it. The Catholic Church did not want the competition, so they had to hide the fact that this was a church. To do so, you can see this one has no bell towers, it has no visible crosses anywhere, and the only access points are those very small doors on each side of the actual building. Those were the measures they took to hide the fact that this was a church. They did a horrible job in my opinion, because you can obviously tell it is a church, but it was the only way they were allowed to actually build it. Now, the Catholic Church, as you might know, is a very serious institution, thank you. It's run by very responsible adults and grown-ups, so their reaction was quite mature, of course, if you follow me this way. Them not being particularly happy about the competition, they decided to do what any responsible adult would do, and they decided to build a much bigger one. Higher up in the hills, with a beautiful Gothic architecture, two crosses which are very easy to see, and since it's higher up in the hills, careful with the truck, according to them, closer to God. A very mature reply on their behalf, but the result was quite beautiful, so usually we do not complain. How the architecture works was what I was telling you earlier. From here you can see that it's made of adobe, which is a very light material. The wooden structure in between makes it more packed together, so it's more resistant, and you can cover it with A, thin layers of cement, or B, the sheets of metal. That's how the architecture actually works. They could at least remove this house and turn this area into like a square or something, but you can see another one of the downsides. All the rubble and the remains of the old house would have to be removed by hand, because there's no way a truck can actually reach this area. And all the construction materials for the new house, which would have to be traditional and for that reason very expensive, would have to be brought up by hand. So it's way too expensive and complicated to restore it, and that's why they just left it the way it is. It's one of the downsides, but it reminds you on how things used to be, and it allows you to analyze the architecture on the inside.
There's a wooden sculpture.
Valparaiso, one of the nicknames it gets is the City of Fire. We can't see it now because we don't have the typical summer weather we're supposed to have, but during the summertime, Valparaiso can get really hot, almost as hot as Santiago, but since it's close to the ocean, it's very windy, and although it's close to the ocean, it's very dry. So dry, windy, and hot, the worst combination ever. One spark and huge wildfire spread throughout most of the hills. That's why we had the big fire that struck Valparaiso last year. And the actual theory, you can see it from here, on why the actual fire started. Everyone was talking about like conspiracy theories and that it was ridiculous because they said it was a bird that crashed on the power lines and that sent the spark that started the fire. That's ridiculous. Birds can stand on the power lines and they don't. How could they? Then you look at the actual power cables. Okay, it's probably true that they crashed. So it's ridiculous, but not as much as you might think. If you look over there, you can see why the suicidal rate for electricians is so high in Valparaiso. Now we're going to go to a portion of the tour which takes us to the downtown of the city. It's not very interesting, to be honest, so we're going to do it as quickly as possible so we can go back to the hills. But to do so, we go down the stairs, so follow me quickly. Let's go.
So this building was destroyed by fire, and as you said, it's a heritage site, so they can't replace it without extreme. Because like seriously, he's like this whole entire area can only be accessed by foot. It's crazy. There's no way a vehicle can get up here. But look at all the sculpture. It's so cool. They've done some cool things with the burnt down house. Oh, the dog looking over the wall. I wonder what that is. I have to ask him. Look at the color. It's a hostel. I feel like that might be a sketchy place to stay. Don't you love how there's like stairs and all of a sudden they're like, oh hey, this kind of place kind of flat, we'll put a door here. Well, that's cool.
That's a hostel?
No, the hostel was up. Oh, that's a hostel. So there's two hostels. Yeah. Okay, so we come down the stairs, right? And you're like, oh, whatever, stairs. And then you're like, whoa, little store, tiny little store, hiding. Second vernacular. I don't know what they're called. I can't say that word.
I said, yes, they had that system until the guy sneezed and everyone died.
I used to work at a kangaroo farm in Canada. A kangaroo farm.
Yeah.
And we had an albino. And this girl came in one day and asked me if we painted it white.
Like, I once told me, I don't remember the name of the animal. It's like the one from the Lion King, like that cat thing.
Yeah.
And that guy said that he was doing like a tour in Africa, like a safari, and they were attacked by a rabbit. Trying to kick that thing away.
Wow.
So we're out for dinner for Lindsay's birthday at almost 10 o'clock at night. It's crazy sauce here, yo.
It's 10:22.
10:20. Oh, it's 10:22. My bad.
Okay, Robin,
And we all look nice and pretty. Smile.
and everyone has to drink.
It's fun, and I believe we're going out tonight. Is what I've been told. Okay, so Robin and I got Caesar salads, which are way better than the last Caesar salad we had the other day at the beach. Way better. Lindsay, what did you get?
Chicken and a white wine sauce with papas fritas.
And what did your mother get?
She got salmon and a butter sauce with a Chilean salad.
I like that one. That one.
I like you.
I thought it was really tricky to do the bottle of it because I was like,
Where is that?
This is really difficult to do. I don't know why they would make
They should make that a hole bigger. So it fits.
I really wanted to put it back because I couldn't put it through the square. I was like, this is just not possible.
My favorite is one postcard. 3 mil. Like she was saying it in my ear, and he was like,
And I don't understand why you just didn't put three postcards out and say one. I mean, why couldn't you use sign language for that one?
No, when I walked up, they were both like doing this to each other, but he was doing this, and she was doing this, and he was like telling me, he was like, I told her 3 postcards, 1 mil, and in my ear, it's just like, he wants 1 postcard for 3 mil. Oh my god! I was like, I just need to diffuse the situation. It's hot.
I had to get Lindsay back. I was not coping. I got postcards. I was so happy. I was excited. I was ecstatic. I was like, yes. And then I got to the how much did it cost, and I was like, I don't understand any of this.
Oh, 3-1. They were still like to each other. He might have flipped it off once, but
Like that way to that walk away and threw his hands up, right?
I should have just chosen some postcards and see what he said and just get. Oh, but I had to get the money off you anyway, so I was like, I might as well just bring Lindsay and help.
I was out there waiting for a while. It was so good.
People
I heard-
come and gone, and I was just like,
She
why?
was going to need extra money because it was going to cost $3 million for one
She's like,
postcard.
alright, well I need the postcard.
I don't have enough money.
3.
I don't have enough.
You should have heard, like, every time they Skype me, they'd be like, so we had this happen today. And Lindsay's like, like, the diffuse situation. I heard that so many times. I had to diffuse the situation. Like, every 3 days, I'm like, what are you guys doing downtown?
We're just doing everything wrong. I really like also when he was like, can I get this out of your way? And then, or like,
No.
do you want
She
anything
told me
else?
I needed to speak more Spanish, so I was like, all right, we're at Pizza Hut. Like,
Wait.
I can do this.
Listen,
Would you like salty
evaluate,
penis?
respond. You get too excited. Seriously, she was like, see. And I was like, ooh, did she understand? And then she's like, oh, no. And she's like, see. I was like,
And then he kept looking at me and wouldn't listen to Lindsay. And I was like,
listen to me. I kept saying, what? And he was like,
I was like, talk to her. I don't understand.
she's even pointing, but she was still like, see, no. See, no. Wherever you land.
That was probably the trickiest conversation
He
I've
just
ever
threw up his hands and walked away. we had to like,
No, I threw up my hands first and just put my head down. I was like, I'm not talking to anybody anymore. And I was just like, you take care of this.
he wouldn't talk to me.
So then I get a Skype call that night, and they're like, guess what happened today? And I'm like, guys, I've been going to school, I've been going to work, I have been buying food, I haven't had an issue. You speak better Spanish than I do, I don't understand what's going on.
She just got so excited, and then I questioned it. I said, maybe he said something that I thought he said, or you thought he didn't know. Maybe she understood, I didn't understand.
Well, this happened at the carnival too, because we talked to the one game lady, and she's like, yeah, everything starts in 10 or 15 minutes. We're like, sweet. And I'm like, plus the ride behind you, right? And she's like,
Disculpe, ¿le puedo ofrecer otra cosita, un postre?
No, gracias,
No,
¿te la
gracias.
cuenta?
¿Sí?
Gracias.
anyway, she's like, told us everything starts. And I'm like, I pointed at the roller coaster, and I'm like, that too. And she's like, didn't really understand, I guess. But she's like, we're good then.
Heck out of that bench.
and so it was sitting there for like 20 minutes, just like, and she wants to go home. Me and Robert are like so close to puking because we ate too much.
Like, you guys are always on the verge of barking.
And finally, like, we go check out the Ferris wheel, and it's like $1 mil per person. And I'm like, guys, we should go on the Ferris wheel. And Lindsay's like, I don't want to go on the Ferris wheel. And I'm like, well, I'm not really sold on it. And I'm like, okay, why don't we find out about the Ferris wheel? So we walk in, and like we go talk to this other person, and she's like, guys, the Ferris wheel is fine, everything else is fine, but the roller coaster doesn't run anymore. And Lindsay's like, ¿Por qué? Why not? And she launches into this huge explanation of how they had an accident and they fixed the coaster, but they won't run it anymore. And we're like, oh. And so we just walked out and left.
¿Tarjeta efectivo?
Efectivo.
Gracias.
Ahí está, me confundido.